Hello, I wanted to talk about a mod I've discovered, because it's a very cool mod, and it adds a bunch. It's called Regions Undiscovered. It adds a bunch of new wood types. Now these are our traditional wood types. There's no pale oak because it's not in the game in the version I'm playing in. Uh, this is just like 1.21 by default. Uh, everyone knows what these woods can do. Everyone knows these woods. They're nothing special. They're just wood. But now let me show you the woods they got it. Also, check out this biome. I am in love with this biome. I have no idea what it's called. It's probably called like a mauve plains or something. But let me show you the new woods so that you get an idea of the new woods that are added, because there's a lot of them. So let's go. We're flying over this forest, entering this dense bamboo forest that is like 2 meters across. I don't know what this forest is called, but it's got some nice wood too. And we're here at the new woods. This is a mauve sign. Mauve is my favorite one. We'll get to that later. But let's go along the woods, and I'll explain what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and what I think they could be used for each in with their own perks. So first is alpha wood. This is there is alpha wood in this game. So it's the original oak wood texture, and there is only the log, the plank, the leaves, the stairs, and the slabs. There's nothing else in this wood type. If you maybe want to pair that with like cobblestone, you could build a real old school house. That might be nice. But other than that, this is more of a gimmick wood, I think. Moving on to baobab, I think. It's a light pink, I'd describe it. Maybe with a bit of an orange, maybe a slightly like a salmony color. It's got these nice white things. They almost look like those what you'd see in a Japanese house in the stereotypical Japanese house. I quite like this one. I think it would go nicely with something like maybe jungle. It's a bit of a darker, or a lighter jungle wood. If you want something more nice, it's a very cute thing. It's very cutesy. It looks like it would be good in a fairy would live in a house with this wood type. I like this one. Up next is the black wood. Now this is dark and broody and mysterious, and of course this is like the polar opposite. That's like that house of the pink house and the black house, or the pastel girl and the goth girl, or black wood is it's black wood. If you're trying to build something dark and brooding and emo-y, black wood is your friend. Up next is the blue bio shroom. There are 4 bio shrooms, and this is the first. Check that out. So there's a glowing bio shroom. I have just the regular bio shroom. I assume those are the leaves. I haven't actually seen one of these in the wild yet. I like the door. I think this is fun if you're trying to build maybe like a sophisticated science lab or an alien planet or a radioactive wasteland. Bioshroom, blue bioshroom is cool. Next is brimwood. Check that out. That is lovely. There is 3 logs in brimwood. There is the regular brimwood log, there's the brimwood log magma, and of course the stripped brimwood, which is very cool. I like it. I like the door, how it's animated. The door has animated lava running down. If you're building an evil demon villain, brimwood log, or brimwood. Next is cobalt. Now, I think cobalt is a metal, but they've turned it into a wood somehow. I like the trapdoor. I do like this one. It's a very pure blue. It's almost like a royal blue, if you will. There's also cobalt obsidian, but I didn't include that here. And the leaves are webbing. So it's cobalt webbing as opposed to cobalt leaves. Yeah. Up next is cypress. I quite like cypress. It feels like a very swampy wood. This door and this thing, it's a bit grimy, a bit gross, and I think if that's what you're going for, this one works really well. It could also be very foresty. I think maybe like Yoda would live here in a house made of cypress wood. Yeah. Next is dead logs. These are dead logs. The trees are dead. They have died. All their color has left their body. I do like that there is a true dead door, true dead leaves, and a true dead trapdoor. And it looks just a bit less. It looks like it's a bit weaker. I like the dead wood. It's very grayscale too, and that's a nice touch. I think if you're trying to get the look of something as old and disheveled, dead wood. Next is the eucalyptus, and this is the eucalyptus log, and you'll notice something interesting. As it's in my hand, it's changing color. That's because if I place it over here, it's purple. If I place it over here, it's red. If I place it over here, it's green. And if I place up like this, it goes from sort of yellow to sort of blue. So this one, the color is determined by its position in the world, which is a really neat concept, and I quite like it, but I think it could be a rather annoying if you're trying to go for a specific look, and you want to put some logs in, and it does that. And you don't want it to do that, or you put it over here and you get purple, but you want orange. So that is a slight flaw I've noticed. I think people would more want to stick to the stripped eucalyptus log if they're going for that look. How do I turn off weather? Weather cycle, there it is. False. Next is our second bioshroom, which is, of course, the green bioshroom. Its door is different, and its block is different. So, it's very slightly different. But they kind of link up as well. But they're clearly different, but they do link up, which is nice. It is almost exactly the same except green. This one looks a bit more radioactive. This one looks like I don't want to go near it. This one looks a bit sciencey. This one looks deadly. Next is the Joshua wood. I don't know why it's called Joshua wood. That might just be a real name of a tree. I like it. It's kind of dull, but I think dull works. I don't want every one of my woods to look like blue bioshroom and cobalt and stuff. It's a very dull wood. I like the door a lot. I like all of the doors. I'm gonna say I like the door a lot on all of them. Yeah. It's good. It's good. And, yeah, I don't really know where I would use it. I don't know if I would use it very much if I was building, but I do see how it could look very, very good. Next up is the kapok log. Sorry, let me clear my inventory. The kapok log, or the kapok wood. I like the log. It's a bit different, I love a bit of variety. I love the door. Oh, sorry, back to the Joshua wood. There's no Joshua leaves, which is I'm a little disappointed about, but I'm sure it just uses one of the other many leaf types. Back to kapok. The trapdoor is very fun. I like this sort of rounded look. It's kind of modern, but kind of old school at the same time. Yeah. That's kapok. Next is the larch. Larch is another gray one, but it gives me sort of this vibe of the baobab, but a bit different. This is just like a it's kind of in between, don't you think? Maybe not baobab, maybe Joshua. It's in between Dead and Joshua. It works well. It's even a bit grayer than the dead wood, I think. The dead wood has a bit of more of a purple or a red, bluey, you know. This one's just pure gray. That's fun. I do like that quite a lot. The larch would be good if you're trying to get sort of a, you know, that dull look as well. But we've had 3 kind of dull woods in a row, onto a distinctly non-dull wood. Magnolia, the magnolia log, and the magnolia, it's a very vibrant red. It's like a lipstick or a wine red. Magnolia is beautiful, and similarly to the baobab, it has this sort of meshing to it with the white, and it also looks kind of Japanese in that sense. I hope that isn't like an offensive thing. I mean, like, it looks like the doors they have there, kinda. It also has a record 4 leaf types. It has the regular magnolia leaves, the blue magnolia leaves, pink, and white. And can I say this one here? It looks like that, you know, the cherry tree leaves a little bit, but even I'd say this looks much better than the cherry leaves, and I would use that more often. So yeah, big fan of the magnolia, big fan. Whatever, just destroy everything. Up next is the maple log, and this one's a lovely yellow that we've been missing in the game for a really long time. Let me go around the back and grab the planks because I set it up stupidly. The maple planks, I think they are gorgeous. They're a honey yellow. Look at that. That is beautiful. That works really well. And I actually think that these two go together like bread and butter. Look at that. That is such a... And then add in our next one, which is the mauve. You add that in there as well. These 3, these look incredible as a pairing. They're sort of tri-complementary. What would you say? They work together. They're like they make a triangle on the color wheel, an equilateral triangle. We started in a mauve forest thingy, and that's where I spawned, and I knew I had to put the video there because it was so incredibly beautiful. Up next is palm. These are the stripped palm logs. These are the palm logs. And let me just tell you something. I can make a convincing palm tree in 2 seconds with this. That right there. I just go boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 like that. And, ladies and gentlemen, palm tree. Because it's using the palm structure. And I like... This is a nice detail that I'm going to show you. Let me turn up my my game volume for this because... Let me take the, Can I put that down? That's a different sound. Because palm wood is not really wood. It's not the same as any other type of tree. They're not really trees at all. They're like banana trees. They're kind of trees, but they're not really. And so the fact it makes a different sound is amazing. Perfect, obviously, for a beach house. Up next is the pine. And this is an interesting take on pine. I've seen pine done before, but I've never seen it quite like this. It also makes a different sound. It makes the same sound as the palm. That's interesting. I like that the door and the trapdoor look very sort of rushed. I can imagine someone spawning in on their first day, slapping together this, like a log cabin, or and having that door there just really seals the deal. It's beautiful. I really like the pine. Up next we have the pink Bioshroom. It is exactly what you'd expect. It's Bioshroom but pink, and it again, the block is different. So here's the blue, and they don't quite match up as well. And here's the green. They don't really match up either. The blue and green, they matched up really, really well. The pink doesn't, but that's not a detractor because it's still, I like that they're different. I like that they're not the same, just different color. Yeah, big fan of the pink, as much as I am of the blue and the green there. We're nearly getting to the end of this. Next is the redwood. And something interesting... That's a different sound too. No, it's the same sound. Something interesting you'll notice, there's the glass in the trapdoor and the door. So this is very, very 50s to me. And I think another thing that adds to the 50s vibe of the redwood is the planks. They don't have the standard plank look to them. They're wide, because redwood trees are huge in real life. Have you seen one? We have a redwood forest near where I live. They are massive, massive trees. And they have massive, massive wood as a result. And it's very, very 50s if you want sort of that mid-century modern look. The redwood and the magnolia are your best friends. And maybe even this one as well. Moving on to the Socotra. I hope I'm saying that right. And the first thing you'll notice about the Socotra is if we get on top, it's red. This is because the Socotra tree is a tree whose, I believe, sap is blood red, and it's really freaky if you see videos of it. And I'm glad that they've added it in, and it has this very sort of red tinge to it in all the blocks. And I think if you want to give your build a sort of an air of eeriness, like something just isn't quite right, Socotra could be a really good one for that. And the Kapok kind of gives that vibe to me as well. I think it's just because of the high distance between the inner line and the outside. Yeah. Up next is the Willow. And I think because this version doesn't have the pale oak, the Willow works as a worthy alternative, and if anything, I prefer it a little bit. Sorry, that's yellow Bioshroom. We'll get to that later. Willow I like quite a lot. It's very Willow. I think this one, if you want not a grayscale look, but sort of either a faded look or you just like the white, the Willow is a cool one. I like the mesh on the door. Yeah. And next, I suppose, finally, we have the yellow Bioshroom stem, or the yellow Bioshroom. And this one, I think, works the best of all the Bioshrooms as its own standalone wood that I could realistically see being used for an actual build that's supposed to look good. No offense to the other Bioshrooms, they're a bit gimmicky like the alpha stuff over there. They have their purposes, but they're very niche purposes. Whereas this one, I think, could be quite general. You could, I think, realistically fit it amongst the palm and the maple, and it would look decent. And I like this. This looks like a glow light, a pearlescent. Yeah, like a glow. Like a light, like a. What are they called? Frog lights. Frog lights. Same kind of vibe. And there's glowing versions of all of these things as well. Yeah, but actually, we're not quite done. Because there is one thing I haven't shown you. And that's because I think it deserves its own category. And that is just over the way. Should be around here somewhere. There it is. Whoa! And that is the painted wood. I imagine there's paint somewhere in here. There doesn't appear to actually be any. Oh, I missed. I was gonna go on my whole rant complaining about how there was no light blue painted planks. There is light blue painted planks. I just missed it. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's all the painted planks. That looks really kind of weird now. So there's red, orange. There's the 16 base colors in the game, and I think one thing that could be really interesting is if this mod, or at least the wood of this mod. Oh yeah, there's also these other grass blocks, but I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them. Is if this mod with its painted wood and the wool mod I was talking about the other month, they came together and they made compatibility so that if you had this mod and that mod, you could also have the new 16 colors painted in wood as well, because that was one thing missing from that mod was wood, and this mod makes up for it. Wool, we've got wool now, and we've got wood. This mod plus that mod, I don't know if they're compatible. I don't know if they're in the same versions. Let me see what versions there are of Regions Unexplored. They are sadly not in the same version. This is 1.21 only, and the other one is 1.18 only. But I would really like to see those 16 new colors from the colored wool video, the new colors video, and the painted planks in those colors. So yeah, there's also painted planks, no painted doors, no painted trapdoors, no painted fences. It's just planks, stairs, and slabs, which is another drawback. But yeah, I'm destroying this now. Goodbye. They're all. Oh, they're not all in here. Some of them are in here. Yeah, that's the mod. I hope that you liked watching this video, and there's a lot of stuff in this mod I haven't talked about. It's a pretty big mod. It does a complete biome overhaul, for God's sake. But I didn't want to talk about any of that stuff. I wanted to talk about their wood. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.